This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode 208 of Horse Tip Daily, a different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. This tip is sponsored by Equestrian Collections for the whole universe of equestrian shopping at your fingertips at a price you can afford. Enjoy today's tip. Glenn the Geek back with you from Lexington, Kentucky, and you're listening to Horse Tip Daily. Well, this is the last episode of the week, and we wanted to remind you to go over and visit all the other shows on the Horse Radio Network. They're all out for this week over at horseradionetwork.com. Don't miss a one of them. I think there's 8 now. So there's 8 different shows that come to you every week. This is the only one that we do daily, but you want to check all those out there at horseradionetwork.com. Well, today we're thrilled to have back with us internationally respected trainer and clinician Julie Goodnight. As you know, Julie is best known for her TV show airing on RFD TV called Horse Master with Julie Goodnight. And she does a lot of training tips and talks and is a big advocate of natural horsemanship. Natural horsemanship is founded on the understanding horse behavior and the idea that horses look for leadership, direction, and assurance that they're safe and acting appropriately. Julie strives to teach you how to master that ideal and emphasizes the importance of lifelong learning. She's very popular over there at RFD, and her clinics are very popular across the world as well. And we're going to be getting back to Julie with her latest tip here on horsetipdaily.com. Remember, you can hear all of her tips just by going to horsetipdaily.com and looking in the Experts drop-down menu on the left side of the page. Just find Julie Goodnight, and you can listen to all of her tips right in a row. But first, let's talk about Equestrian Collections. You know, you don't often think about Equestrian Collections when it comes to trail riding, but they have a complete trail section. If you go to their homepage, scan down towards the bottom, you're going to see a trail riding link. And they have tons of products from Equus Grooming, Tie Safe. They have Wrangler jeans. They have all the Wrangler products, actually. They have Outback Wear, you know, the Australian company. You want to check that out over there as well. They also have emergency kits, just everything you're going to want for riding the trails. So hop on over to equestriancollections.com. I also have those cool mountain horse high rider tall boots and the other mountain horse, the shorter laced paddock boots that are really cool. I really like those. They look very Western too. So check those out over at equestriancollections.com. And don't forget, you can get $10 off your next order of $120 or more just by putting in the coupon code 10 discount, all one word, 10 discount, and you'll get $10 off your next order of $120 or more just for the listeners of the Horse Radio Network. Well, let's get on with Julie. Well, hi, Julie, and welcome back to Horse Tip Daily. It's always good to have you on.
Thanks. Good to be back, Glenn.
I know that you're a busy girl traveling the country and almost every weekend now, for probably now through summertime. So we really do appreciate you taking the time. You know, I had a question from, and I can't find the email right now, but I had a question from a listener that when coming into the canter, their horse tends to buck. And I know that's probably one that you've had on your show before, right? On Horse Master with Julie Goodnight?
Yes, it sure is. In fact, we recently recorded an episode on that very subject, and it's a question that comes up a lot. And sometimes when people have trouble with their horses, either bucking when they're cued to canter or crow hopping, or just taking off too fast into a gallop rather than a nice, slow, easy canter. And almost always this is caused by the rider over-cueing the horse to canter. And I frequently tell people, whether it's the trot or the canter, if your horse goes into the gate, if he just launches into the gate like he was shot out of a cannon, chances are you over-cued him. And this is particularly a problem at the canter, and one reason why is because the canter is about the closest thing to the horse's flight response that we ask him to do. In other words, you can kind of imagine that what you're doing is asking the horse to go into flight.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's going into fourth gear and fifth isn't too far away.
Yeah. And if there's any anxiety or if there's anything that may be just slightly wrong with the horse, that maybe it's so minor that you haven't even noticed it before. But for whatever reason, he's having some mental or physical stress, and then you cue him out of the canter, and if you cue him sort of without warning and you over cue a little bit, it can easily trigger the fight response because it's so close to what you're asking him to do. And if he were enduring some sort of stress, he might be closer to the flight response anyway because of the stress. But the solution is usually pretty simple. First of all, before you cue the horse a canter, or before you cue him for anything for that matter, you need to make sure he's awake and listening and prepared for a cue. If he's thinking about something altogether different, or he's not thinking at all, and all of a sudden you jam this cue down his throat, you could get a shocked response from the horse, and that could be one thing that's causing the bucking or the horse to take off. So we prepare a cue. Believe it or not, we've all inadvertently taught our horses that before we ask them to do anything, we'll shorten the reins and we'll come to attention with our body and our position. So make sure before you cue the horse a canter that he's prepared for the cue, and you're going to do that by just slightly shortening the reins and at the same time closing your legs gently on the horse. And so you build a little energy at the horse at the same time you kind of take a hold of him. And what will happen then is he'll sort of come to attention. You'll feel and see his neck and head lift just a little bit, and his ears will come back to you. And that's how you know the horse is prepared for cue. That's basically his way of saying, what do you want me to do? Okay. And then the counter cue, like any cue, should have a sequence to it. And you're going to use outside leg. That sets the horse up to take the correct lead. A little lift of your inside rein puts your body in the canter position, which is that your inside is slightly lifted and your weight is in the outside stirrup. And then the actual cue to canter comes when you push with your seat. It's a motion, the same motion that you use in the canter. It's a motion like pushing a swing. So you prepare the horse, and then you use leg, rein, seat. If I had a horse that was bucking or launching into the canter much too fast, what I would do is have the rider focus on the use of her seat in the cue and not so much her legs. If the horse is too bad and too exuberant in his canter departure, you probably don't need more legs.
Right.
What you need is to tone the cue down, slow the cue down, and use less and less pressure until the horse is not quite so anxious about it. So the main thing is just getting systematic in your cue, slowing down the cue, and toning it down. Lots and lots of canter transitions from trot to canter to trot to canter should help her get smoother transitions.
All right, great. Well, thank you, Julie. And you said that you did that on one of the recent shows. I wanted to ask you, for those of us that don't get RFD TV, can they see any of the videos online?
Yes, there are segments of each show available online on my YouTube channel. We're prohibited from the network for posting the entire episodes, but we try to put some meaty segments of the show up on YouTube, and you can go to my website, juliegoodnight.com, and just click on the Horse Master link, and you can find a list of all the episodes. There's articles that relate to each episode linked back to my website, and then the YouTube channel, and that's just youtube.com/juliegoodnight, has all kinds of video segments.
Cool. All right, great. I wanted to ask you that because I know that not everybody gets it. More and more people are now, but we're in Kentucky. You think that our cable company would offer it, but
yeah. Well, more and more, of course, both the satellite providers offer RFD, and more cable companies are picking it up. So you should check with your local cable provider and make sure it may already be there.
Cool. All right, Julie. Well, we certainly appreciate you being on again. And, of course, your website is at juliegoodnight.com, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Great. Thank you very much, Glenn.
Well, we thank Julie again for taking time out of her busy schedule to be with us. She doesn't have to do these tips. She does them because she truly does love to help people with their horses. And she'll be back with more tips here coming up over the summertime. She was also one of the most popular guests we ever had on the Stable Scoop show. You can listen to that episode at stablescoop.com, episode number 40. Just look for episode number 40 or search for Julie in the search box. Well, today's email, it's time. Well, this email actually was from a girl named Jen. She didn't say where she was from. And it was actually for the new Tack and Habit show, but I thought I'd share it here as well. It says, "Thank you, Troxel, for making an affordable and stylish helmet that comes in all sizes. I am a fanatic, having used my helmet for their intended purposes a few times, and the availability of helmets with more than 3 sizes was dismal. Until now. Also, thanks to Glenn the Geek and Helena B. for the lively conversation. A great way to start the day." Well, that was very nice of Jen to send us that. That was about the Tack and Habit radio show, episode number 2 that we did. It's a new show where we chat about new products on the market, and we talked about the new Troxel Cheyenne helmet. So stop on over to tackandhabit.com if you want to take a listen and enjoy it like Jen did. Thank you very much, Jen. If you'd like to drop me an email about any of the shows, you can do so at Glenn with 2 N's at horseradionetwork.com. Please subscribe to our shows through iTunes or Zune, and as I've always said, you can get that link right on our website. And don't forget to check out all the other great shows at horseradionetwork.com. We'll be back again next week with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, stay safe, everyone.